How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Riley here, and today, you guys, yet again, I am bringing you all another brand new NBA video right here on my channel. Now, today, you guys, we are coming at you guys with another brand new topic of a video, and today we are actually doing another quiz. I know, you guys, I have not done a quiz in a very long time on this channel, and I do know that some of you guys did enjoy them a lot back in the day when I did them more. So before we get into anything with this video, if you guys do enjoy the video after watching it all the way through, if you guys want to see more quizzes on the channel, make sure to leave your feedback in the comment and tell me if you truly enjoy seeing these types of videos, or you want me to stick to what I've been doing recently, or do both. Please let me know. But you guys, as I always do before we hop into the video, I just want to say that if you guys are new viewers to the channel, or you guys are coming from a previous video and you have not done this yet, please, you guys, I'm highly encouraging each and every one of you guys to stop the video right now and make sure to go down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, you guys are not going to regret doing this. I promise you guys that. Number one, it's free. Number two, it's easy. And number three, you guys, it gets you guys my content that much faster than just coming around and checking my channel every now and then. Coming out with brand new videos every single week, you guys. I have a ton of stuff planned for the future. You don't want to miss out. I promise you that. So for any of you guys who do this for me, I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get into today's quiz on the channel. Now, as you guys can see on the computer screen right now, I am on the quiz.com. The site is actually loaded with a lot more quizzes than I anticipated. I mean, I've seen it once every now and then, but it actually has a lot of interesting quizzes that you can go through. And today, you guys, as you can probably see from the title of the video and the title of the screen right here, we are taking a quiz where we choose the better NBA player and see if this quiz will be able to guess my favorite team. Now, as most of you guys know, the Milwaukee Bucks are my favorite team. I say it in a lot of videos, and most of you guys that have been around the channel for quite some time do know this, and we are going to see if by going through all 35 questions in this quiz, if it will be able to guess the Milwaukee Bucks as my favorite team or not, because clearly that is my favorite team. There's no doubt about it. But without further ado, let's jump into this quiz and see if it can actually guess my favorite team. I'm really thinking it's not going to be able to, but let's just put it to the test and see what it can do. All right, you guys, like I said, it is 35 questions, and we are getting into number one, LeBron James or Anthony Davis. Now, this one, if you guys have been sticking around the channel for quite some time, you all know I am a diehard LeBron fan. There's no question about that. So, I mean, it's a pretty easy statement in this one. Don't get me wrong, you guys. Anthony Davis is one of the top 10 players in the NBA, if not that, top 5 without a doubt. But you guys know I can't go against LeBron, and we are selecting LeBron for the first question here. Let's move into number two. We got Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. I mean, this one is also a very easy one for me, you guys. In my opinion, Kevin Durant is top 2. Literally right there with LeBron James. They're at the top of the NBA. They are at the top of what the league has to offer. In my personal opinion, and without a doubt in my mind, this one is going to be Kevin Durant. This one's pretty easy. The first two were rather easy. But let's just keep going. Number three, we got Steph or Kawhi. Now, for this one, you guys, it's honestly a really tough one because after this year, after what Kawhi has done for this Toronto Raptors team, it's really hard to go against him with his two-way style of play and how much he has dominated and led this team to the NBA Finals. But you guys, I just personally think with what Steph Curry does and how much he has transformed the game with his style of play and his ability to shoot. God, you guys, this one is really, it's so tough to decide, but I'm gonna have to go Steph Curry. I'm sorry. Just his impact on the floor for his team is like no other. And I'm not saying Kawhi doesn't have that same impact, but it's so close, you guys. It's gonna get tougher as we keep going along. Now, for this one, you guys, we have Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul. Now, this one is actually probably the most even one we've got so far because they are both point guards, so matching up two players in the same position is gonna be very helpful. But for this one, I'd have to say right now, like right now in their careers, if it was prime Chris Paul, I would say something different, but I'm gonna have to go with Russell Westbrook in this one. Just again on the fact, as I said, Chris Paul is in the mid-30s of his career right now, and Russell Westbrook's kind of in the prime, I guess you could say. So if it was prime Chris Paul, it would be a different story, but right now we're going with Brody with that one. Next one, we got James Harden or Giannis. Most of you guys know this was the MVP debate for the entire season, and like it is for this game, it is trying to guess my favorite team, and you already know what I'm gonna pick for this one. It's obviously Giannis. I have to do that. It's a no-brainer for me. I personally think he deserves MVP this year. That's just my personal opinion, though. We are all entitled to our own, and I love Giannis. I love Giannis more than anyone in the NBA, and I gotta go with him in this one. There's no doubt in my mind on that one. Now, these keep getting tough for you guys. We got DeMarcus Cousins or Jimmy Butler here for this. Looking at this at first glance, I'm gonna have to go Jimmy Butler this one, you guys, because obviously, I mean, it's really hard to match up a center with a 2/3 player. Like, it's hard to compare the two and see which one is better, but I'm gonna have to go with Jimmy Buckets for this one. Next up, we got Paul George or Klay Thompson. Now, for this one, I'm gonna say that I'm going with Paul George in this one right away. Don't get me wrong, you guys, I'm not trying to bash any player by picking against them. I love Klay Thompson so much, but I just feel like how Paul George was somewhat in the MVP discussions for a fair amount of time during this season. I just feel like that has a greater impact on his team, and with his two-way play on offense and defense, can't really go wrong with Paul George on that one. So we're gonna keep going as fast as we can. We got Damian Lillard or Blake Griffin now. And for this one, don't get me wrong, Blake Griffin had an outstanding year this year. He's only going up from here with the Detroit Pistons. He had an outstanding year. But I'm gonna have to go Damian Lillard, you guys. Damian Lillard is such a good player. I mean, I don't want to say he's underrated, but by being on the Portland Trailblazers, he doesn't get the recognition that he probably could get if he was in a bigger market. And with this, personally, I just feel like he's the better player. If I had to choose between the two, that's who I would choose. Just look at it in that perspective for every single question. Moving on to this one, we got John Wall or Dwayne Wade. Now, for this one, if we're talking right now, I'd have to obviously go John Wall. I feel like that one isn't very tough. No, John Wall, no brainer. And for the next one, DeMar DeRozan or Draymond Green. Now, for this one, you guys, I mean, I'm just being honest. Who I would choose in each of these situations, and I'm going Draymond Green. He actually holds a great part in that Warriors team. Personally, in my opinion, he is a big factor in how well the team does, and not a lot of people seem to take that into consideration. So I'm going with Draymond Green for that one. Kyle Lowry or LA 12. Now, for this one, I'm definitely going LA 12. And don't get me wrong, Kyle Lowry can be big in certain situations, but I feel like he is more on the side of not showing up than actually showing up and providing for his team more times than that. I don't know. That's just how I feel. Now we're on to question 12. We got Kevin Love or Andrew Wiggins. For this one, I'm choosing Kevin Love in a heartbeat. I don't even have to think about that one. It's as simple as that. I don't really have to explain myself on this one. I like Kevin Love. I like his style of play. I like what he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers at the time, and I feel like he can show up more than an Andrew Wiggins on any given night. So we're going with Kevin Love on that one. Now we got Melo or Andre Drummond. Now at this point in their careers, as I've said for all the other ones, I'm definitely going Andre Drummond with this one. The next up, we got Joel Embiid or Kemba Walker, and for this one, I'm going Kemba Walker. I've decided that right away. And don't get me wrong, you guys, Joel Embiid is an insane player. He has a ton of potential going forward, but with the fact of how injury prone it is, that does play a major factor into how I look at him and how I look at him in his success down the road. All right, question 15 now. We got IT or Karl Anthony Towns. I'm definitely going with Karl Anthony Towns on this one. IT hasn't been playing much in the last year or so, and Karl Anthony Towns, with Jimmy Butler leaving, actually stepped up a lot for that Minnesota Timberwolves team. So we're going with Cat on that one. We're going to speed it up a little bit. We got Kristaps now or Gordon Hayward. I'm going Kristaps in this one. After the Gordon Hayward injury, you can tell it plagued his career and his style of play greatly for the last year. I'm not saying that's how it's going to be for the remainder of time, but he's definitely got to transition off of that injury, and we haven't seen KP off his injury yet. So obviously we're going to have to wait and see how good he is off that, but for now, I'm taking KP over Gordon Hayward for sure. Now we got D Rose or Devin Booker. I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys, I would take MVP D Rose. I would take prime D Rose in a heartbeat over Devin Booker. But right now in their careers, I'm going Devin Booker. And I know Devin Booker's been playing for a very struggling Phoenix Suns team for the last couple of years, but still, I feel like he is a pretty solid player, and you got to give him credit where it's due. I'm going with Devin Booker on that one. And now for the next one, we have Bradley Beal or DeAndre Jordan. Again, personally, a no-brainer in my perspective. I'm going with Bradley Beal. And then the next one, we got Dwight Howard or Marc Gasol. And for this one, another no-brainer, Marc Gasol. I shouldn't have to explain myself. Marc Gasol's kind of getting towards the end of his prime, and he's slipping into the mid-30s region of his career, I think. But he's still pretty solid for that Toronto Raptors team after being traded this year, and he was a major factor in that team in certain games in the series, so we got to give it to Marc Gasol. And now we got CJ McCollum or Vic. This one, you guys, I'm going Vic. Vic recently in the last year, how much he has stepped up and how much of a leader he has become for the Indiana Pacers is remarkable in my eye. It was really sad to see him go down with injury, but I personally feel like Vic is going to be one of the top stars in the league down the road for a couple of years. So that's Vic in my opinion. Now we got Dirk or Jokic. I mean, I think that we're looking at where they are in their career right now. And with this one, it's Jokic without a doubt in my mind. I don't have to think about this for a split second. So yeah, Jokic without a doubt. Go on to question 22. We got Whiteside or Mitchell. We're going with Donovan Mitchell on this one. Whiteside, I feel like it's kind of been in the shadows recently, and Donovan Mitchell's really been stepping up as a young leader for the Utah Jazz team, as they made the playoffs 2 years in a row, so you got to give Donovan Mitchell credit for being that good at such a young age. Next one, we got Rudy Gobert or Jaylen Brown. Now, for this one, I'm going Rudy Gobert with this one too. Going with another Jazz player back-to-back in this one. I'm going with Rudy Gobert basically because of his defensive stand. He's one of the best defensive players in the league. There's no doubt about that. It is talked about quite often. So yes, we're going Rudy Gobert. Now we got Ben Simmons or Goran Dragic. I don't even have to think about this for a split second. It's Ben Simmons in a heartbeat. I love Ben Simmons, but he needs to get a jump shot. If he just develops a jump shot, you guys, he'll be one of the best point guards in the league. I feel like he's already up there. It's just lacking that jump shot does so much to his game, and I don't understand how he has not done that yet or why. But now we got Al Horford or Eric Bledsoe, and for this one, I'm personally going Al Horford. Even with Eric Bledsoe being a Bucks player now, with where Al Horford is in his career right now, he is still being a solid player for that Boston Celtics team. So Al Horford with that one, no brainer. Now we got Paul Millsap or Eric Gordon, and for this one, I think I'm going Eric Gordon right now. I love Eric Gordon. I love how he plays. I love what he's been doing for that Houston Rockets team. It's just sad to see they couldn't get over the hump of the Golden State Warriors in the past couple of years. But what are you going to do? Paul Millsap, he's kind of getting towards the end of his career too, so I'm going with Eric Gordon in this one. And now we got Andre Iguodala or Manu Ginobili. It's actually a pretty old quiz. It might be from last year, honestly, looking at it right now. But yeah, you guys, for this one, we're definitely going Iggy in my personal mind, because I just feel like Iggy is a better player than Manu Ginobili right now in their careers, or when this quiz was made, I should say. Towards the end now we got Vince Carter or Avery Bradley. Yeah, this is definitely an old quiz, but for this one right now, I'm definitely going Avery Bradley. I mean, he's definitely better than Vince Carter at this point. Now we got Jason Tatum or JJ Redick. It's definitely Tatum in my eyes. Tatum as a rookie was one of the key leaders to that Boston Celtics team making it far, and I know this last year he didn't do a lot in the playoffs or in the regular season for that matter, but when you throw two all-stars into the mix of that team that was already very successful, there's gonna be some things taken away from him. Like, that's just a given. You cannot avoid that, and it's not his fault. I don't know, you guys might call me crazy for that, but that's what I'm going with. And now we got Mike Conley or Zach LaVine. I'm going Zach LaVine. I feel like Zach LaVine is very underrated to everyone else watching the NBA. But yeah, moral of the question, we're going with Zach LaVine over Mike Conley. We're into the final 5 questions, and now we got Tony Parker or Jamal Crawford. And this one's kind of tough. This one's like personal preference. I haven't watched much of these guys recently now that Tony Parker's on the Spurs and Jamal Crawford is on the Suns. And we're going Jamal Crawford. Now for this one, we got Paul Gasol or Jabari Parker, and this one's definitely Jabari Parker. Paul Gasol is almost to the end of his career right now. He does not have much more to play for. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a solid player in the prime of his career. Next up, final 3, we have Rajon Rondo or Kyle Korver, and right now, this is tough, you guys. This is actually a pretty tough one. I think I'm going with Kyle Korver just on the fact that he can shoot. He is a quick spot-up shooter, and I feel like that is a huge part to any team right now in today's age of the NBA. And I'm not saying that Rondo is not impactful with his ability to pass the ball and make plays, but it's just personal preference. I'm going with Kyle Korver, and now we got Steven Adams or J.R. Smith. And for this one right now, I'm going Steven Adams. He is a very strong and impactful big man for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's generally referred to as one of these scarier players in the NBA. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a players poll that said that he is the most intimidating player in the NBA that you would not want to get into a fight to. So I feel like his intimidation factor is a big part into how successful he is. So we got Steven Adams over J.R. Smith, and the final one is Serge Ibaka or Rudy Gay. And for this one right now, I'm going Serge Ibaka. I mean, I've watched Serge Ibaka the last year or so, and it seems like he cannot miss a mid-range shot ever. Like, he pulls up from mid-range, he will make it like 85% of the time. I swear to God. But I feel like he is the more impactful player out of those two between Rudy Gay. And now we are done with the quiz, so we are going to go in to see the result and see if it can actually guess my favorite team, which is the Milwaukee Bucks. It actually took a while to get through this quiz, but we made it. And without further ado, let's see if it guessed our team correctly. All right, you guys, it gave us the Chicago Bulls. It gave us the Chicago Bulls. So, I mean, I guess it was kind of close. I don't know how you can say it was close or not. But they did not get my favorite team, which was the Milwaukee Bucks, as I said plenty of times in this video. So, I mean, it was fun to go through. It was fun to see if it could actually guess my favorite team. But it came up short. But don't worry, guys. If you want to try this out yourself and see if it can guess your favorite team, I will leave a link to this quiz in the description down below. You guys can go down below, click on it, and do it yourself. And leave your feedback if you did do it to see if it actually did guess your favorite team by answering these questions. But you guys, without further ado, after doing that quiz, I'm thinking that's going to mark the end of the video here today. Once again, you guys, I'm really hoping you all did enjoy the video, and if you did in any way, shape, or form, please, you guys, I'm highly encouraging each and every one of you guys to go down below and slap a like on it for me. The support around the channel, you guys, has been crazy recently, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. I love you guys so much for it. It truly leaves me speechless. And before you go, don't forget to go down below and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We're coming out with brand new content every single week. You guys will not regret doing this. I promise you guys that, and it helps me out so much with each and every one. But after making that final comment, you guys, I thank you again, and that's all I have to say. So after that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace!